Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm T with Teresa H Creates, and I have an impromptu project today. So something just got my imagination going, and I'm going to try to make something happen. And I don't know if it's going to be successful or not, but we'll give it a go. So I don't know if many of you have seen this, but I keep seeing that has my address on it, so I'm not going to open it up completely. Let's open it up this way. I keep seeing these lovely journals with the covers made from this recycled Amazon packaging. So I have been saving all of my Amazon packaging to try to make one of those journal covers, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but I've got tons of it. And then I received a package like this. And I thought, you know what? That's already the perfect size. So I was like, I'm going to have to try to make something. So that is what we're going to do today. I did remove the label here that had my name and address. And this is very impromptu. I've seen a lot of the videos, but it was videos I was watching as I was crafting. So it wasn't videos I was watching to learn from. So I'm just going to kind of do my own thing, and we'll see if it works. And if it doesn't, okay. And if it does, then fantastic. So I think let's first measure this and see. This is 12 inches by 9. So that is a 12 by 9. And I think that what I am going to do, this is what I'm going to try to do. I want to keep the pockets up here at the top. I think I want to keep those pockets. So I'm going to try to cover it in a way that I can keep those pockets. Okay. I think that the first thing I need to do, because I need to trim this up. You see how the extra is kind of folded up along here where I tore the opening off. So I think I'm going to trim it up, and I'm going to just go ahead and have it match the inside of this. And I didn't watch them closely enough because, like I said, I've just been saving the packaging, and I thought, at some point I'll go back and I'll watch some of those tutorials on how these were made, and then I'll know exactly what to do, but I did not. So I don't know if they tear them apart. Are they torn apart? I don't want to, though, because I want to keep the pockets. So I don't know if they're supposed to be taken apart, if this is going to be way too thick or not. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't need to start second guessing myself now. I'm going to go ahead and just roll with it. So I do have some binding tape. I haven't even used it yet. I got it a little bit ago from Amazon, and I am going to use it. I got it off Amazon to have just in case I ever needed some, because because it's good to have as a reinforcer on your spine. And since this one, it's going to be a really soft spine, I think that I want to put some binding tape on the outside and the inside here, just so that it will reinforce. So let's see. I think that I'm going to go there, and I'm going to have it overlap just a little bit. I don't want to close up that end. Okay. I've never used this particular binding tape, so we'll see how it goes. I'm just trying to take the adhesive backing off, and it's not cooperating. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to try to center it as much as possible, and I don't want to close that in. That's my open end for my pocket. And then I'm going to, okay, looking good so far. I'm going to wrap this around, and then let's see. Oh yeah, still totally flexible, but now it's going to reinforce that. And I think that this obviously has some kind of material in here in that packaging that makes it soft. So if I, go through this for sewing purposes, I think that that'll help as well. So then let's see. I'm also going to do the inside. And honestly, guys, this is just kind of the way things go for me. Some things I have lots of experience with, and then some things I think, oh, this will be a good idea. I'll learn how to do that one day, and then I just get a wild hair, and it just kind of happens. It just kind of happens. So I'm really hopeful that this is going to work, that what I'm thinking, what I'm planning on doing, what I envision, I hope is going to work, but who knows. Okay, I'm gonna put that along the edge and then press that down. So now I've got a nice reinforced spine. So it is going to be very soft. So it's nice to have that reinforced. Okay, so I did go ahead and pull together some pages for a signature. I haven't decorated any of them. This is another digital kit that I've printed out, and I've added just some fun papers that I've had of my own, some tea dyed and some other dyed. I think that there's some doilies in there. And so I've got this already ready to go. And I can put the name of this collection, of this digital collection. I will put that in the description box. I don't remember what it was off the top of my head. I get a lot of crap for it though, because my girls are little artists, like truly. One of them is in school for her degree in fine arts. And so I get a lot of crap for the AI generated art, but you know what? I don't care. I don't care. I like to print and use the things that I find pretty. So, okay, let's see. I'm going to want an inch around. So I'm going to want this to be 14 inches. I want to give myself an inch around. So there is 12. We'll put it right at that mark. And then 2. So I'm going to say right here, I do have pencils. So let me make a line there, and then I'm going to want it to be a little bit higher. So I do want to leave an inch off the bottom, so that's 10 inches. And then I want to put a little bit extra up here because I'm going to overlap it into these folds. I don't know how that's going to do on those edges. We're going to go with it. We're going to go with it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So I want, 10 inches, and then I want, I don't know, maybe 2.5 to 3. I think that was almost a full inch up, but that's fine. That's fine. If we have extra, then we have extra. That is fine. Let me get this down here. Okay. And now I'm just going to take my large scissors. I can't even see my line. And I'm just going to cut. I don't even know where I got this paper. This was in some of my, I have a bucket behind me, a metal bucket, and that's where I put all of my like wrapping paper that I want to use, and like my large rolls of specialty paper that I get. I like going to the like the papery shops and stuff and buying the handmade papers, and so I put those rolls back there. So this might have come from that. I don't even know if I'm going to have enough of that to make the inside cover, but we'll figure it out later. Okay, why does that not look long enough? Did I do that wrong? No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to, ouch. I'm going to go ahead and put glue on half of this. So I've got Mod Podge here, and I'm going to go ahead and put Mod Podge on half of this. And then that way I'm not trying to line up the entire thing, right? Right. I can turn it over. I gotta try to get this on here before it all dries. Be a little bit quick. And I find that I'm super heavy-handed because this silicone brush just picks up a lot of product. So it's nice and juicy. Okay. Let me set that aside and then make sure, okay, because I don't want to get the paper stuck. I don't want it to be stuck. Okay, let's put that there. Put my pencil over here. Maybe I can hold the bottom. There we go. Okay. Oh, and I did the wrong side. Okay. We put everything over on this side because this is the side that I glued. Okay, so I want about 1 inch on the bottom, inch on the sides. Yes. Yes. I'm committed now. It's down. All right. Where's my bone folder? I honestly had no idea what paper I was going to use. I just thought, you know, since I'm on this winter kick, I would use this winter digital that I printed, and it's kind of this really, really bright blue. And then I'd walked into my studio this morning and I just saw it sitting there in that bucket. And so I was like, oh, you know what? That is what I'm going to use. That's the one. And I've got some on here. I'm sorry, I don't want to glue. I don't want to glue this down. Okay. Now I'll do the other side. Okay. It's about as far out as I am going to go. Now I'm going to start putting it on up here. I hope this isn't too awkward for you guys. This is kind of the way I do things, the most awkward way possible. This is what it looks like when you're crafting by the seat of your pants. Okay. I think that is good. Okay. And then I got to make sure it's going to fold over. And it does. So I thought that these guys looked a little bit like snowflakes. So I thought that that could pass as the winter, with the winter theme. Right? Right. I'm just picking up all kinds of stuff here on the sides. Okay, so I think that I am going to miter these corners. And then this corner. Okay. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do up there. So I am going to go ahead and miter this corner there. And then here. So I can fold that over. But I'm going to leave the rest of this alone right now at the top just because I don't know exactly how I'm going to do the rest of this. You know what I mean? Okay. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, so far it's working. The part I'm worried about, though, is the top parts. But so far this part at the bottom is working. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to go ahead and miter this down here, I think. I wonder if I do. Because if it folds over, yeah, it's going to get all that crinkling in there. Okay, so we will. We know where the line is. Let me make sure I've got the line nice and figured out. I do. Okay, So I'm going to go ahead and miter it, but I'm not going to cut that center part out. I'm going to fold it down so that it also wraps over. You'll see what I mean in just a minute. So I am going to do this, but then I'm going to keep this here, and I'm going to glue it down in the center. At least part of it, you know. Okay, we'll try it. We'll try it. Let's just go for it. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay. Want to make sure we've gotten under this edge nicely. I'm going to go all the way to the edge here. Where's my tissue? Okay. All right. You know, I probably should have done the bottom for, it doesn't matter. It's all going to be covered anyway. It's going to be covered. It doesn't matter. If I had it to do over again, I would do the bottom first. Now I'm going to just stick with what I've got because I want it to be uniform. But I think I would do the bottom first. I think it would look a little more aesthetically pleasing, but again, I'm going to cover it, so it doesn't matter. How much does it matter? It doesn't look like I got this corner very well. Okay, fold over. I've got my dry tissue. It makes me feel like Tina from Shabby Dabby Doo-Dah. She's always got her dry tissue to clean up her gluing messes. All right. Ooh. Being super generous. So today is a holiday here in the U.S. It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and I happen to have the day off. So I'm in my studio. And over this long holiday weekend, I did go to my aunt's house. I actually posted in my community. I posted a couple of pictures on my community page. So we have an annual Valentine card making party, the ladies in my family, and that's where we were yesterday. And it was nice. It marks, we were guessing probably about 25 years, I think, is what we had said. It's about 25 years ago that we did the first one. That was where my aunt had brought a bunch of rubber stamps, and I think we made like some Valentine's Day tags or something, and I remember doing some stamping, and that's when I discovered stamps and just absolutely fell in love with them. It was shortly after that that I had gone to a Stampin' Up! Party, because I don't know that I'd ever been into a craft store prior to that. But anyhow, I had gone to a Stampin' Up! Party for a friend, and then, yeah, then I was hooked. I was hooked. I thought, this is where I get them, and then I proceeded to buy everything Stampin' Up! Okay, let me see here. Okay, I am going to keep this, however, I'm going to trim it down a little bit because I want it to go around the edge, but I don't want it to interfere too much, if you know what I mean. So the reason I switched over to the Fabri-Tac is because I noticed that I'm gonna snip that off so it's a little bit shorter. When I get the sheet over it to cover it, that'll be fine. When I cover the inside, it'll hide that. But at least from the outside, we've got nice coverage all the way around. So that's why I did that. And we're not gonna have that folding and bunching when we close it up that we would have had otherwise. So, okay, that part's done. Now on to the hard part. I don't know what it's going to look like. Okay. I think that I go ahead and do the same thing. I think that I am going to go ahead and miter these corners. They're just not going to wrap under. They're going to wrap in that way. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay. So I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about this. Let me go in. I can always bring it in a little more if I need to. So I'm only going to go in a little bit. And then I may end up having to go in a little more just because it's sealed here. I don't know if you can see. So it's sealed along these edges, and so these pockets are going to be kind of thin. Let me see where that begins. So if I cut them here, yes, right? And then I cut here. I think that this will then fold underneath, but am I going to have to do the same thing here like I did down here? I think that I am. Okay, so let me see how this is going to look. Okay, maybe I go on to my third type of glue. We started with Mod Podge. I put on some Fabri-Tac just because I needed it to stick to that book binding, which has kind of a linen feel. The Mod Podge really wasn't sticking to that well. And now I've got art glitter glue. I'm sure that all this isn't necessary. This is just me. Okay. And then here. I probably could have used the Fabri-Tac for this too, but it's so thick that I was worried that if I did get it on these edges, I wasn't, you know what I mean? It would be disastrous because it's so thick. Okay, let me get my paper up in here. So on this, I am going to trim this a little shorter like we did the other. And let me see. I am going to go ahead and trim up these sides a little bit. Okay. Is this a hot mess or is this working? I feel like it's working. I don't know how easy it is for you guys to follow this, but I feel like it's working. Okay, now I've got these pieces, which I think, like I said, I think that I am just going to trim these and then glue them down because they will cover these corners here. So let me go back. Yes. Okay. And then trim this one. How did I even trim that? Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. Goodness. A bit of a mess here, a bit of a mess. Okay. There are probably easier tutorials. This isn't really a tutorial since I don't know what I'm doing and I'm kind of just making it up as I go along, but you know, but there you go. So now the inside of this. Okay, I'm going to use this top part because at least that I know that that's even. So we said 12.5 is what we did there, but that was also accounting for this inch that I wrapped up. So we only need to, if we remove an inch from that, I'm only going to end up needing 11.5. Okay, I think I'm going to use my guillotine on this because it's got, if I line it up on this edge, I have to be a little bit more particular about it being straight here since all these lines are going to be visible on the inside here. That's why I'm being a little bit more particular here. Sorry if I'm being too fussy. My guillotine is here on the side though. I'm going to trim it up and then we'll be good. All right, so I trimmed this at the 5.5 mark, and that is what that is going to look like. I'm going to go ahead and get the adhesive on here, and then I'll go ahead and I'll get all the trimming after I get the basic part of it done. Okay, so yes, okay. And again, it didn't stick here, so I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac here along the center. And again, I am always shocked with how smelly Fabri-Tac is. It is noxious. I don't think enough people comment on that. I remember people using it all the time and they're all like, oh, I'm gonna put my Fabri-Tac out, I'm gonna put my lace on, I'm gonna put my trim on. And nobody's like, this smells horrendous. It smells horrendous. So it's just a very chemically kind of a smell, you know. It's just strong, like a super glue kind of smell. So I'm just saying, there's not enough talk about that. Okay, this seriously came off the same roll, and I don't know why, but this looks darker than this on this side. You see how the trim is? I don't know, it looks a little bit darker. Oh well. Oh well. Okay, let me put my lid on this because I think we're done with that. And then I'm just going to work some of these edges here. Maybe that's why. That's probably why right there. Because it's got Mod Podge on it, right? Let me see. Looks like this edge didn't quite get any. I'm going to use this though, since I can slide this right underneath the edge, the tip of that. There we go. Just come along here and get all of these little edges. Get this that did not get. All right. And I didn't do any cuts down here when I did that, and I can feel it. I will do it on the top though when I start doing the, you know, overlapping it, tucking it into that pocket. I will do some mitering up here. All right, so on this side, I am going to miter, and I don't have to worry about it as much, that little bit on the end there, because this goes because a lot of this is already covered here, so I don't have to worry about that. I do want to make sure that these edges are all down though. And I need to glue those down without gluing my envelope together. And it tends to just be these edges that I keep missing. Okay. And any of the rest of it that isn't down isn't going to matter because it's going to be tucked into this envelope anyway, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, I just keep checking because I want to make sure that I don't glue the envelope together. Okay. So now I'm going to do like we did on the other side, and I am going to miter this. Okay. And the reason I made these so deep is so that whenever they end up being opened, at least for the top part, for the majority of it, you know, to slide things in and out, it's not going to be seen. Or it will be seen, you know, it'll kind of cover up this inside, so it's not just, you know, manila packaging or this craft colored packaging. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second. I'm pretty sure you know what I mean, but that's why I made these a little bit longer. So I added 2.5 to 3 inches on these little flaps that I'm folding down into these pockets. And it's a little bit tighter now than it was before because of all the stuff that I've glued down. So I did get a little bit of glue when I was popping these in. So I just want to, I'm going to clean that up a little bit. Okay, and then now I've got my little flap here. Let me trim that down. And then I'll go ahead and put it down. Okay. I think I did it. I think I did it. I think I did it. Okay, so let's fold it. Ah, and it feels so good. It's nice and squishy. And then we've got pockets at the top, pocket here and a pocket here. And that's what I meant, so that whenever, you know, this is in the binding and everything, and then you go to put stuff in the pockets, it's not, you don't see as much of the craft paper, right? It goes down, so you can see quite a bit of that pattern paper still. Okay, you know what I did not do though? I did not measure my signature. So I don't even know if my signature is going to fit. You know what? It's a little short for the height, but I think that that's fine. I think that that's fine. Actually, I think it looks pretty good. It does. It looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to let this cover dry a little bit, and then I will be back to stitch in my signature. All right. I have let it dry for a little bit. I probably should let it dry I would think overnight ideally, but I left it a few hours and hopefully it's okay. I'm not a very patient person, so I oftentimes don't give proper drying time. I haven't made a template for stitching this in, but I think that I don't think that I'm going to. I don't think that I am going to. I think that I am just going to go for it. I'm going to jump all in and I'm just going to stitch it. Normally what would happen is I would create a template. I would punch, you know, put my holes in and everything, but this is a soft cover. So I think that I'm just going to do it like all at one time. Does that make sense? So let me take these out. Those were holding this in. Okay, I had already lined up all the little folios in this signature. So now I'm just going to kind of press it down. I think that I am just going to attach these and then stitch it all in at one time because it's a soft cover, you know. So 1, 2, and 3 times the width of your book. Let me go ahead and get this ready. Let me get I got this kit, this little bookbinding kit on Amazon ages ago. And let me get my needle. Okay. Let me go ahead and thread this up, get it ready. It is wax thread. It's ready to go. And then I've got my book I put down here for piercing purposes. And I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to go for it. So we've got it bent. I'm going to look at what is probably my center point. Okay. And then I'm eyeballing all of this. Hopefully I can see these on the other side. I can. Super thick. Okay. Nice. So we've got a nice tail here. And then I'm going to go in at the top. And I'm going through, this is quite a big signature, so I'm going through quite a lot of paper here. There we go. Okay. So let me trying to pull that through is impossible. On occasion, when I need help. There we go. It's the flat one, and on occasion I have to do that, so that's a tip for you, just in case. All right, let me give this another good push, because we're going to go right through here. Please, oh, look at that, like butter. I was able to come through just fine. Okay, this part will be a beast. I'm going to go ahead and pull that tight. Okay, and then I am going to pull this up because I'm coming right back through that center hole and I don't want to stitch. I don't want to stitch into that thread that's already there. So I'm holding it, kind of pulling it to the side so that if I go in right there on top of it, hopefully I don't end up piercing. So So if I go in through there right on top, I don't end up piercing, you know, through it. All right. Let me see here. All right, I'm going to try to pull it tight. Let me go ahead and take these off. All right. I don't want it to move too much, and I don't think, let me see, one on side, the other side. Okay. Let me pull it. Try that way. Okay, let me see. Not loose. Not loose. Okay. So we're going to go right over left, and then left over right, and done. I'm going to leave these longish now. Okay, so there we are. We're stitched, and that's it. So it worked, and I have pockets in here. And I think that I will probably put some lace around this and maybe some book corners to kind of help reinforce that, and then decorate it up. And I think that when I'm finished with this, I will do a flip through, but we did it. It worked. Everything's covered, and it feels nice and squishy, and it looks good. So thank you for taking this little journey with me. I know it got a little bit crazy there since there wasn't exactly a plan, but it did end up working. So I guess this is just a don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to try. Just go for it. What's the worst that could happen? And this is all, I mean, it was, you know, that packaging was free. It was free. So if it didn't work, then you toss it, you start over with another cover, and, you know, nothing was ruined. You still have your signature and everything ready to go. So if you have any questions for me, put them down in the comment section, and I'll be sure to comment. And please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I'm really trying to grow more, and I think things have kind of slowed down with Christmas in the beginning of the year, because I need to get back into the good graces of the YouTube algorithm. So I do appreciate your likes and your comments and your shares. So until next time, bye.